We are back with yet another Warcraft Rumble video, and in this one, guys, we are back with a Maiev build that will blow your mind. But before we get into the deck, I do want to go ahead and thank Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video and the overall channel. So thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. But in this one, guys, Maiev is on a rampant. This leader allows you to basically place several different unbound minis all over the map and then lower the costs that he costs, or they cost. Now, let's look at the deck overall. So first things first, we have Maiev with Remorseless, which deals double damage for the first 2 seconds. You can also use Shadow Step if you want, but Remorseless is the most consistent one. And then there's Enveloping Shadows, which casts a Smoke Bomb. Again, I like Remorseless because it does just overall damage output the highest. Safe Pilot with Coming in Hot. We've also talked about being able to use the Gnomish Cloaking Device, which is also good, but depends on the deck. Mighty Throw, pretty consistent choice for Griffin Rider here. I am actually rocking Dark Iron Miner with Gold Miner, which does mean that after he's done mining, he does drop a Prox Mine all over the ground. Or you can do the Fury one. I've seen people do both. I don't think there's a better. I think it's just. I don't think there's better talent. I truly think this is just subjective to what you guys as players think is best. Whelp Eggs, pretty solid here. Choice, Flame Burst, you're going to want to pick it up. Don't change your mind ever again. And then Quillboro, literally we've talked about this in all of our videos, but literally any other talents work. And guys, this is completely free to play friendly. Like, you don't have to have these talents. You can use whatever talents you want or no talents, and this deck is still extremely viable because at the end of the day, and you can see that Maiev is in my top 3, you really just need to make sure you have the ability of placing the unbound units, and Maiev is just going to do what they do best. So you can see that I have Guard Towers, Clean Fight, and then Adrenaline Rush, which means the lower my health gets, the higher amount of gold that I will get and or my opponent. So it can make for some very interesting matches. All right, so first things first, we have Tyrion, a really good option for most players regardless of how many talents you have on your units. Now, this map could either do us a huge favor or do us no favors. It is a little bit bigger, so you can actually jump straight on the opposite base. I noticed they have a push going, so I do want to make sure I answer that while still being able to push and kind of blow up the other base at the same time. Now you can see that I'm actually prioritizing the gold and the tower and the turrets, but I'm also answering their push as well. This was like a perfect start for us, and we got their tower. So phenomenal start. We have full control over the gold, full control over their tower, and answered their push seemingly very, very easily. Now we already are starting to do damage. Now keep in mind though, Adrenaline Rush is the name of the game in this one, where the more damage they take on their main tower, the more gold they're actually going to be able to produce. So I have to be very, very consistent on my damage and be able to answer almost all of their push, ideally with able to just burn down their whole tower in one swoosh like motion, really. That's sort of my strategy when it comes to it. But Maiev deck is super good with this because you can just, instead of letting people walk all the way there, you can just overwhelm their main base by spawning people right on top of it, as you saw right there. And we literally got the W just by one swift, basically a perfect opener into a consistent pressure on their base. Boom, shalaka, boom. We knocked them out. We do this. Massive dubs, W's in chat. So we go and get the little upgrades here for the quest. We take those. I don't even remember what I picked, actually. Thanos. Yeah, I've actually maxed out, or at least got all the stars for all the other undead, so I think I was probably just trying to max that one out as well. All right, so let's get into another PvP match. All right, so game number 2, same map, different individual, same outcome, question mark. I don't know. Let's find out. So again, the goal is to split push, but also prioritize the gold. This deck can be very hungry when it comes for gold. You can be starved, but I did delay a little bit before I did my major push, and we basically massively pushed all of it. Now we're going to go ahead and is this player giving up already? And they might have. Some people, that's the thing that with this deck, some people will just straight up give up if they don't perfect their opener. It looks like this individual did. So David SM, thanks for the free honor, I guess. We're going to go ahead and leave this in here because honestly, guys, this is a great example of if you just overwhelm in the very, very beginning, people might just straight up give up. Like, they just don't want to deal with this deck because it is so it's so easy to make it rampant, right? So as soon as you get going, it's so hard to slow it down. And in this one, like, unless you can stop the push, you're just done. You're just done. Now, again, this deck is good with literally any and all buffs in most cases. You will run into some problems with the Dragon Tower because it is just that AoE cone, and we don't have a ton of range, which is why we use Griffin Rider. But again, it does lead to a bit of a problem when you're trying to overwhelm it. But then you just want to use Quillboro to adjust where the turret is attacking, and you'll be totally fine. All right, so now we're going against Power Tor. Nice name. All right, let's get straight to it. Yeah, so you can see that they are actually playing. They have a push going top. I did notice it very quickly. I don't have a great answer, and that's the hard part. Now they also have a split push going on, so now we could be in a little bit of trouble. Now this is the hard part, because this deck is going to be very gold intensive, and they are controlling the gold right now. At least they're doing a great job of trying to. Now the bottom, we lost our top tower. The bottom tower is also looks like in trouble. Maiev was played, and we were able to get our tower back, and it looks like we secured both towers. Now we are starving for gold, whereas they are probably bouncing back from not using gold for a few seconds. So this is where it's sort of like a give and take. Now I'm so glad I didn't play that right there, because that would have been a problem. But once again, I don't have a good answer for the gargoyle. I mean, I have Griffin Rider, so we're going to play that. And we're also going to use our whelp eggs, because at least we'll get some hits on it. But you can see that they are very quickly answering it. I'm going to answer theirs too, but the damage is just not the same. But I should be able to get that tower back. So now we're sort of at a break and even point. They very quickly played to control their tower, their treasure box rather, and mine. So you can see that I attempt to answer the turret as well as the base. I did not get the chest up top, in case you're curious. So got to do a little bit of multitasking. Now I did take a little bit of damage, which is fine, but now they do have this turret. Unfortunately, I was late on dropping my minions, which means my hawk just took an absolute beating. You try to avoid that. Now you can see that, okay, wow, now they have a big push coming in, and they have their leader on my top tower. Boys and girls, now we're in trouble. But can we come back? Again, the name of the game is just to kind of slow everything down without bleeding too much gold. So you can see I don't really have an answer. I'm going to be able to take this back. I did slow the tower, but they immediately took it back. I'm going to use my minions there. And they're just overwhelming my towers. And boom, they're just all the gold. They literally have all of the gold under their control. So let's see what I can do to get out of this. So you can see that I have my Maiev ready to go. I am trying to steal gold out of the middle with my Dark Iron Miner, which is going to hopefully help a little bit. I do need to kill this guy before he gets too much damage on my base, because you can very easily lose to one swish push from a gargoyle at any point in the game, so you want to be careful of that. Again, a little late. I'm very, very delayed on a lot of these plays. You can see that. I did try to get the top tower back, but then lost it. I am getting a little bit more gold than him, though, because of my base being at half health. Now, if I take a little bit more damage, that could get even more. And towards the end, if your base gets really, really low, you actually get a stupid amount of gold, which is super cool to see. All right, so now you can see their base is, or my base is about to be under a pretty big push with their boss and a gargoyle. This is tough, guys. All right, so we do have to drop. Not a great play, but it's the only play that I had. Again, taking a ton of damage, just chunka. Gotta be careful, though. All right, so now, they're just countering every play that we do. They're just countering it. All right, we did sneak this base back. All right, now we're getting a little bit of a push going. Griffin Rider is going to go down. Ooh, except that we played the Quill Burrow at the right time. So now we get to keep the Quill Burrow, and we got Maiev going, and we got the bot tower. So now can we reverse the play? Oops, they got the top tower again. Can we answer? Boom. We are slowing their push on the left side, and now we need to reverse the gold. Okay, now I identify that the gold is here. I have to win this gold, because now we have 2 times gold income, and I need just to have better control of the gold. We're getting a little bit better pushing, and I got that gold from the Dark Iron Miner. So I never gave up the middle gold nodes, while I did have to concede some of the gold chest. Not ideal, but at least I wasn't losing full gold. Had I been losing full gold, this would have been a nightmare. Now we took their tower. Now we have the push going. We are generating more gold than them, and they just simply cannot answer everything that we are doing. So we are counteracting anything they do, and able to straight up overwhelm them. 29 seconds left. They have more damage done to us, but look how many minis I have on the map surrounding their base. What a beautiful reversal. Beautiful reversal. Now, again, once this deck is really hard to slow down, it is so much fun when you get it snowballing, how much damage you can just drill into the enemy base, because you can drop almost all of your minis anywhere. That's the beauty of this deck. So you can see Maiev is actually my top ranked deck at the moment, which is pretty decent. Now, again, all this could change at any moment, but Maiev is always in my top 3, like I said previously. All right, let's get another game in here, another rep, if you will. We got Luigi coming at us with Rend. Rend can cause some problems because Rend is just so strong, right? And none of my individual units can really counter Rend, so I have to be really cognizant of that. Now, right now, I'm just draining my gold, so I should play something. There you go. Now I see that Rend is going middle with that elemental, which is going to be a little rough to answer, so that's probably free gold for him. And they have the new mini. I forgot the mini's name. Little shadow invisible dude there, or the shadow guy. I'm going to go and just sneak some damage on the base, apparently. I would not have recommended that, honestly. Like, hindsight, looking this again, probably not the best play, but I did get my gold, and I got the first gold node. So not awful, but meh, not great. All right, so now Maiev hopefully can knock him down. He doesn't. I'm trying to get Rind off of his dragon. There you go. That's a big part of this. Now, can we answer this push? Now, fairy dragon, that's what it's called. I haven't even used my fairy dragon yet. That's probably a video in itself that we need to cover here in a few days. Just figuring out how to use fairy dragon, because look at this. Perfect push. And I guess fairy dragon would benefit from Rind's passive, which would lower the cost of flying units. Huh. Never thought of that. That's a good point. Guess he's why he's doing it. So here you go. Our base is just getting thrashed. We are already almost dead. Can we do another reversal like we did last time? Doesn't look like it. A sad face. So sometimes you just get overwhelmed. Again, Rind is a really good counter. Now, how could I have played that better? I shouldn't have just wasted gold early on to put pressure on their tower that I knew was just going to be lost. And I really should have come in with a better strategy of like a Quillburrow, Maiev, and a just dedicated more resources to answering the Rind, because once the Rind got going, it was rough to counter it. Now, this match should be very easy for us. And I'm not saying you're going to lose against all your Rinds that you go up against, but you do have to have a good plan in sight to answer the Rinds, because they're a little tough, admittedly. All right, so you can see that we're trying to maintain pressure very, very quickly. Probably should have adjusted where I put them, but you can see that we should maybe get it. I actually missed this guy. He was supposed to go up there on the gold, which now this is just a fumble of a start. We did actually manage to get their gold with Maiev, their gold base, that is, and maybe even get the second one. But we did have to dedicate a lot of gold to that. But that's okay. We should be okay to answer this push. That might be too far away, actually. Okay, so now we got a little bit of pressure on their base as well. Okay, now we've fully cleared them. We're able to get some gold produced, and we have a small push going mid. But more importantly, they have to answer us here, because we just put so much pressure. And what is he doing? He is using his spells on my Dark Iron Miner. He just lost a tower because of that. Had even one of those hit that cluster of people, he would have cleared at least half the army. As you can see, his buffed up whatever is just tearing through my army, but that's fine. I got the tower. I got the win there, right? And we can very easily now control the gold. Still very much focusing in on that small little push there, as I can now produce my units and produce more gold. That's all. That's the name of the game. Snowball this deck as fast as possible and don't look back. So we are maintaining full gold control now. Now, I do have to be cognizant of how they use their spells with this deck, because they could lead to a little bit of problems. But you can see that I basically just ignored the deck at first, his boss rather, and then boom, he's dead. Okay, so now I have pressure on his base. His boss is dead, and I'm going to produce more units right on top of the main base. That's the trick here, guys, is just flood the base with units as much as possible. Now, they did have a really good answer with the polymorph into the spells, with all of the things. So not bad, actually, pretty good. But you can see I'm using my minions next to my base, because I get an additional 2 units out of it. Even if it's just to slow it down, it's a really cheap cost unit, so I don't care. And what did it net me? Free gold. So I'm net positive there. It's not necessarily about me getting the gold as much as it is I want to slow down his gold input. Now, this guy running across the middle at level 11, that's a little scary. He's going to do a ton of damage unless I answer it, and that was a very poorly played move on my part. So now we got Maiev. Can Maiev blow him up? Yup. So that was a level 8 Maiev against a level 12. God, what is his name? I can't even think of that leader right now, but yeah, we were able to kill both of them with 1 Maiev, which is just why I love that ability. Now he's going to go down to that, unfortunately, which is fine. I still have their tower. I have decent gold control. I'll say decent gold control. Now he's starting to produce a decent push mid and to my far right, but this should allow me to sort of pick him off here. Oh, except that my safe pilot just went through the bridge, unfortunately. I do hate it when that happens, but now you can see that we are still trying to answer, keep the gold, but I think we're about to lose the gold once again. All right, there's Maiev. Should one-shot. Ooh, the polymorph. That was clutch. So not only did he deny the ability for me to slow down his push. He also got the gold from the polymorph and the gold from the node, and now he has a level 13 push going on. That's rough. Now he has 5 seconds left in the game before we go into overtime, and we both get a little bit of a gold increase. But his push right now is pretty vicious, admittedly. And you can see that I'm just waiting for my gold to generate. I've sort of lost my momentum, and I'm trying to figure out a way of building it back. I do have to stop that level 15. I'm glad I did, because that would have done a ton of damage to my base. Now he's got level 14, 15 again, using all the spells to buff him. I have to answer that, and we did. That was a little rough, admittedly. That was a little rough. We did sneak the gold there. Not bad. Little quick snatch of the gold. That probably was even enough gold to really kind of turn the tide of that 2 gold. Because that would have been, what, another halfway to another leader for him, or another spell buffing his existing leaders. You can see he has a really smart idea with having his leader go across the bridge and one go under. That way he buffs both of them at the same time. But with the just overwhelming amount of gold that we can, or units we can provide with low gold costs, is allowing us to just flood the base. Now this one was close and we did get the W there, but you get the idea with the deck, guys. This deck is so much fun to utilize. Once again, thank you so much to Warcraft Rebel for sponsoring today's video and the overall channel. Once again, this game is totally free to play, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. We got tons and tons more content coming your way, including other awesome decks. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, guys, I hope to see you in a video soon.